The brain, mental. This is my favorite subject of all. It drives me nuts and it fascinates me at the same time. Here's your task, little mental gymnastics. Read the color, not the word. Read the color, not the word. Is your brain going, ah? It should be, because you're having an arm wrestle. The corpus callosum is having an arm wrestle. Your right hemisphere is saying, it's the color, I love the color, say the color, say the color. The right hemisphere is going, no, it's the word. It's the word you got to say. Say the word, say the word. Color, word, word. Well, sometimes we don't have a choice when it comes to how we choose to see how our brain works. But I'm fascinated by the human brain. I'm fascinated by how it works and how it doesn't work. And I'm fascinated by how, well, how we know so much about it, yet we actually know very little about it. We actually know nothing about the brain. When you think of uncharted territory, it's like space. We know a couple of stars, we know a couple of constellations, but there's stuff out there that we have no idea. Have you seen the video of the older man with Parkinson's who's got a really bad shuffle? It's a physio video. He's got a really bad Parkinson's shuffle like this. He can barely walk. In fact, the physio tries to cue him with a foot step over. He actually falls down. So he's really, really serious. They take him out to the parking lot of the clinic, put him on a bicycle, and push him off. I'm watching this video going, what are you crazy? He's going to fall. He bikes down the parking lot. You've got to see this video, it's fascinating. Bikes down the parking lot, pedals, pedal, turns around, comes back up the hill, gives a little extra push because he's got to go going up a hill, pedals up, hops off the bike, and he's frozen up again. Now, I don't know how that works, but I know two things. I'm starting to lose my voice as a motivational speaker, and that's driving me nuts. So I know that I can sing better than I can speak because my left hemisphere is affected. So that's speech, but I can sing from my right hemisphere. So I can sing better than I can speak. And when I lose my ability to walk, I'm going to bicycle. So in 10 to 15 years, with your indulgence, if you have me back, I will be bicycling on the stage giving you my speech in song. Will you have me back? That's how the mind works, and I don't get it, but I'm going to play it. Like Bob says, just play it. Play it. Shake hands and play it. So there's the thing. I want to share with you a particular mindset, if you will, a particular thought or a pattern of ideas around the whole notion of mental living well. How do you derive joy juice from your mindset? And it's based on the 1090 principle. The 1090 principle goes something like this. Life can be seen as 10% event. Stuff happens to you. You're stuck in traffic, you get married, you get divorced, your kids do well in school, you do poorly in school, you have a car accident. Life happens, you can't stop that. That's just events that go down. You know what I'm saying? Life can be seen as 10% of what's happening to you. But 90% about how you think about it. How you think about that 10%. Mental living well. And within that 90%, what if? There's really only two choices. There's the attitude of gratitude, or what I call stinking thinking. Within your mindset. The story I'd like to share with you is a story of how I basically came out of my little blue funk. In diagnosis was 2005, in the July of 2006, I re-met Andrea. Andrea was my girlfriend 18 years ago. We got back together. And that was in July. By October of that year, I realized I was getting kind of serious, and I had to tell her that I have a chronic disease. My stinking thinking little mind said that's going to be a deal breaker. She's not going to want to spend the rest of her life with me because I'm going to be, you know, my worst case scenario. Never read that stuff, eh? Read all the stuff about that. It's terrible to read that stuff. You know, the wheelchair, the drool, you know, the whole scene, right? And I thought she's going to read something somewhere about that. She's going to be a deal breaker. So I told her, and she said the equivalent of, so what, now what? We got married July 7, 707. Lucky day, apparently. And we tried for a baby, and we had no luck with that. We actually had tried for in vitro in May of 2008. No luck with that, so we ended up getting a puppy. It's a barking baby, believe me. It does the trick. It does the trick. It poops everywhere, too, just like a baby. So we got a baby. We took the baby home in September long weekend of 2008. Then I got the 10% event. This 10% event happened to us. It was a phone call from my wife's twin sister. What my wife's twin sister had been up to up until that phone call was she found out about a baby that was being born to a 16-year-old mom, a little 16-year-old teenage mom, somewhere in Nova Scotia, and she found out about this. And the birth mom was looking for parents to adopt the baby outside the system on her own. My wife's twin sister wrote a profile of us, submitted it to the birth mom. The birth mom reviewed it and approved us to be the adoptive parents. And then, we didn't know any of this. Then we get a phone call, 10% event. It's going down. Here's the phone call. Pete, Andy, how you doing? Good. If a baby dropped in your lap, would you keep it? What? If a baby dropped in your lap, would you keep it? There's a baby being born, folks. 10% event's going down. Now, what do we got left? We got our 90% of what we're going to do about that, right? How we're going to think about it. Well, my wife, woo, she's gone. She's out of here. I'm going, oh my gosh. I was kind of teasing like this, a little stinking thinking, not so much stinking thinking. And I started my stinking thinking journey when we went to the social worker. And the social worker said, I should let you know that 50% of the birth moms that make an adoption plan will change their mind after the baby's born. My little stinking thinking started going like this. Once you get stinking thinking on, folks, your antenna's up, right? It's looking for other stuff. It's looking around for other stuff. I got some more evidence. The birth dad gave the birth mom a ring. Now, I didn't know which hand, but it didn't matter because I had stinking thinking. I bought the crib, took the crib home, set it up, kept the box and the receipt. Then the big stinking thinking part came for me was when we had to disclose our medical history. Now, you want to know the medical history of the birth mom and the birth dad. Diabetes, heart disease, stuff that might affect the kid as the kid goes older. But they wanted to know our medical history. And I thought to myself, what does a 16-year-old girl know about Parkinson's? At the very best, she's probably seen Michael J. Fox on Oprah. And when he was on Oprah, did you see him? He was pretty disconnected, wasn't he? He was swinging around, doing the whole show, you know, doing the Parkinson's boogie, I call it, Parkinson's boogie. And I thought to myself, what does she know about that? She's going to think I'm going to drop the baby. It's going to be a deal breaker in my small, stinking thinking mind. I told her, she said the equivalent of, so what, now what? And Hannah was born November the 28th. Now, in Nova Scotia, the law says you can't take the baby home immediately because they have to wait for 2 weeks so the birth mother can change her mind. Boop, 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 boop. But on December the 16th, I was driving down. It was a dark, I remember the day. It was a dark and dingy day. We picked the baby up from the foster care family. My wife's in the back seat, my baby's in the front seat. And I was driving down the street, and I started to tear up with joy because I realized no matter how much stinking thinking I had, it didn't make any difference in the end because the joy was still there. My stinking thinking got so bad, I actually wrote a country song. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. Okay. I got stinking thinking on the road to Pity City. That's all I got. I'm working on it. But my question is this. I'm a proud dad with a little girl. She's home. She's going to be 2 years old next month. And she's the joy of my life. Oh. But the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is, she was going to be born no matter what I thought. That 10% of it was going to happen. And I look back and say, why did I spend all that mental energy on stinking thinking? So here's my question. It's kind of like stinking thinking was like, there was joy all around me, right? There was a birth mom that said that we were the parents. There's a baby being born. There's joy. There's family bliss. My parents were ecstatic because I thought I'd never get married and settle down. And there was this joy all around me, but my stinking thinking was like I was sitting on it, sitting on joy. And it was lifted, not by me, not by my change of attitude, but by the circumstance. So here's my question for you folks. Where is your stinking thinking still making you sit on your joys? Is it your attitude towards your condition? Is your attitude towards other people? Is your stinking thinking towards the circumstances and events? And there's lots of different stinking thinking possibilities. There's blame, there's excuses, there's guilt, worry, and fear. Those are the big 5 stinker thinkers. So where is your stinking thinking making you sit on joy? Because life's too short, folks. Live well, move forward, but get rid of your stinking thinking. Would you like to see a picture of her? We kept the dog. We kept the dog and I recycled the box. For the crib. Now, once you get in this gratitude attitude thing, or stinking thinking thing, but I'm on top of the gratitude attitude, this whole notion of gratitude. Once you start that mindset, it's almost like you can't unsee it. Like you start seeing the world as a gift. I actually have another talk that I do. It's called The Gift of the Hit. That my hit is Parkinson's. I have a 1-hour talk called The Gift of the Hit, because the Parkinson's has been the greatest blessing of my life. Bar none. My life has changed forever. It's a good thing. Well, I won't give you the sad story, but I was a lonely bachelor before all this Parkinson stuff happened, and now I got kids in the family. Oh, it's crazy. But anyway, there's a gift of the hit. So once you see it, you can't unsee it. So I want to give you a little quiz, a little test, a little way to get you to seeing things. In this image, this is a courier company, right? In this image, there's another image embedded within the image. Can you find out what it is? Can you see it? Can you see the image? I'll make it a little bigger for you. How's that? Does that help? This FEDEX is there, but what else is there? What is that? The arrow. Do you see the arrow? Do you see the arrow? I'll make it bigger. Do you see the arrow? Okay, how about now? Do you see the arrow? Do you see it now? Do you see it now? Now, wherever you go and you see a FedEx truck riding down the street, you're going to do I want you to do two things will happen. One, you'll see there's that damn arrow. That's that thing. But I want you to ask yourself a question. How is my stinking thinking that day? Have I found the gratitude for my life, or am I in stinking thinking mode whenever you see that little truck going by and know I'm not getting any commission from FedEx? Mental living well forward, folks, mental living well moving forward means to choose your perspective. Choose your perspective. I'm suggesting attitude of gratitude, but if you want to have a pity party and go to Pity City, that's okay too, because it's a beautiful place. There's lots of people there.